Yes, I know, I look amazingly awesome. Get over it. So yeah, Invincible Season 3 recently concluded, and that was pretty popular. Now, Thunderbolts has also just released, and people are losing their minds over it because for the first time in just a few months, Marvel has dropped a not terrible movie. So naturally, I decided to make a video discussing Omni-Man versus Sentry because screw it, why not? And what can I say, you know, mindless power scaling slop is what the people want to see. So without any further yap, let's just get straight into it. Okay then, let's start off by talking about Sentry, because that dude is pretty cool and Omni-Man has had enough attention recently. Now, first of all, there are actually two relevant Sentries that I'm going to talk about, the comic Sentry and the MCU Sentry from Thunderbolts. And we're going to start with the latter. Now, let's just skip straight to the elephant in the room, because bro absolutely low-diffed those knockoff Russian Avengers. Like, this fight was not close. I don't even know if I can call it a fight, let's be real. Like, bro made Bucky look like he could barely beat a toddler in a fight the way he was tanking those punches. And let's not even talk about him shredding through vibranium, because that's something that we've only seen like Thanos do in the MCU, I swear. I mean, hell, Thor repetitively slams Captain America's vibranium shield in the MCU and it never even gets a single dent from it. Sentry's abilities are also busted as hell thanks to the super soldier serum coursing through his veins, and yes, it is better than Captain America's because this guy can warp reality, obviously it is. But yeah, telekinesis, flight, superhuman physicals, some kind of heat or energy projection and manipulation ability. He's got it all. And the Void can also trap people in a dark trauma dimension thing, which I'm guessing counts as some kind of telepathic ability. Who even really knows at this point? The point is he's got insane overpowered abilities. And now speed is actually a very difficult thing to gauge from just this movie, and I'll be real, I'm no power scaling professional. Actually, I don't believe in power scaling. But I had a little look at the Versus Battle wiki to gauge his speed, and it said subsonic travel to massively hypersonic combat speed, which basically just means he's very fast. But also, the Versus Battle wiki is supposedly a bunch of BS, like, who even really cares? The point is, he's probably pretty damn fast, alright? But there's not much evidence because he's only been in one movie. Now look, there are some statements in the movie about how Sentry could potentially destroy the world, and some of the scaling about destroying vibranium would push him to around moon or planetary level. And I think that's my conclusion of movie Sentry. I think we're highballing him to, like, planetary, whatever the hell that means. Sentry from the comics, though. Yeah, that is a totally different ballgame. Bro is literally just Marvel Superman. Like, he's got the S at everything. He is Marvel Superman. We are talking about multiversal level strength here. Universe destroying strength. Galactussy shaking strength. Bro is considered on par with Thor. He is out here stalemating World War Hulk and taking hits from him, as well as ripping Ares, the god of war, totally in half. Like, Ares got the Gojo treatment from Sentry. He's also fought and had the upper hand against Galactus, but I believe that is just a statement and not something that we've actually seen. Still though, very impressive. Yeah, this guy is a ridiculous level of busted, with straight up matter manipulation on the atomic level, cliche superhero energy beam abilities, telekinetic abilities, telepathic abilities, regeneration. I think you get the point. He basically can do everything except from solving mental health, because that is definitely his biggest and only real weakness. You see, Sentry's real name is actually Robert Reynolds, and to put it simply, he's an unstable druggie. Yeah, one of the most powerful characters in the entire Marvel universe is a druggie. Sentry and the Void are actually two different people. Well, they're two different personas. They're obviously the same physical person, kind of, even though they look different. Whatever, the point is they're two different personas created by Robert Reynolds. Basically, they're meant to be the physical manifestations of his good side and his dark side, which he has split in two, to help, you know, him manage his own mental not okayness. But yeah, if his mental state wavers, then Sentry actually becomes weaker and the Void becomes stronger. And each persona also gets weaker and stronger based on Robert's feelings towards them and his current preference. Or at least that's what the internet says. Again, realistically, I've not read every Marvel comic in great detail, and so I don't remember or know everything ever. I'm just kind of putting the pieces together here. Anyway, overall, Comic Sentry is a completely different beast who can pretty much do anything ever. Anyway, moving on to Omni-Man from the comic series and now TV series called... Now, I'm going to keep Omni-Man scaling all in one section because the show is a lot more similar to the comics, unlike Sentry, who varies massively. Now, first of all, Omni-Man is one of the strongest Viltrumites in his series. In fact, there is actually a very strong argument for Omni-Man maybe being in top 3 because he is often compared to Conquest, who is most definitely the second strongest Viltrumite. I mean, his OST is literally called second strongest Viltrumite. I feel like you can't really get more obvious than that. I think it is just a generally known thing that Omni-Man is one of the absolute strongest Viltrumites in the entire series. I don't see any reason why anyone would argue with that ever. He is a Viltrumite that is massively faster than light, can fly away from the pull of a black hole, can save the world from a Texas-sized meteor, and can destroy a destabilized planet with strong punch. I'd say that's pretty damn impressive. And yeah, Viltrumites are mainly kick punch merchants with no real hacks beyond that, but yeah, they're still mind-blowingly strong, so who cares? I mean, they also have these like smart atom things that work on the subatomic level, which basically help them create wormholes for speedy galactic travel. But yeah, overall Viltrumites are probably around moon level in attack potency and are less than or similar to star level in durability because even though they can survive exposure to a sun, it massively weakens them. I mean, he may not be the strongest Viltrumite, but Omni-Man is definitely no joke and should not be taken lightly. I mean, look at what he did to this poor planet simply by moving fast. Okay, anyway, I think it's about time that we discuss the main event and place Omni-Man up against Sentry, starting with the movie version, because of course. And I'll be completely real with you, movie Sentry vs Omni-Man is actually still pretty damn close, because they will have similar levels of AP, with Sentry potentially outclassing the Viltrumite, depending on how literally you want to take the "he can destroy the world" statement. Now, Omni-Man definitely has the superior durability and speed feats here, and since we didn't really get to see Sentry flex these features, it's safe to say that Omni-Mans are just superior right now. Like I said in my Invincible versus Gojo video though, Viltrumites do often massively limit their speed to prevent mass destruction, or just because they want to for whatever reason. I mean, realistically, Omni-Man should never get hit by the Immortal, but he does, so, you know, it is how it is. Holding back or not though, massively faster than light compared to hypersonic simply isn't a fair comparison to make, so movie Sentry would definitely find himself outclassed in terms of speed. However, MCU Sentry still has way more in his arsenal than Omni-Man does. But will his strong hand energy abilities be comparable to the level of a sun? Probably not, so I don't really see how they're going to lead to him defeating Omni-Man, but their powers he has, you know, he can heat stuff up, he can do energy superhero things. Still impressive. But then there is the Void. Now, you see, if the Void was unleashed, then Omni-Man might just be kidnapped by this intangible darkness and stuck in a trauma land, wondering why he ever left his wife and kids to go destroy planets and bang alien bugs. With the insane speed and durability differences, as well as experience being in play, I do still think I have to give this one to Omni-Man, though, I'm not gonna lie. Which, to be fair, is good for him, because I don't think he'll do so hot against Comic Sentry, who we're now going to place him against. Good luck, Nolan. You're definitely gonna be missing your wife after this one. Alright then, like I said, Comic Sentry might as well be able to do literally everything you could ever want or need, so is there even any point discussing this? Like, in fact, I'm actually sitting here now wondering why the hell I'm even making this video. Okay, well I know why, it's because it's popular and fun to talk about, but whatever, that's not the point. The point is actually this. Attack potency, point to Sentry. Durability, point to Sentry. Speed, point to Sentry. Feats, point to Sentry. Statements. Actually point to Omni-Man, and I will explain why in just a second. Hacks and abilities, point to Sentry. Yellowest costume, points to Sentry. And finally, coolest mustache, point to Omni-Man. Well, good for you, Nolan. You actually managed to be somewhat relevant in this conversation, but let's be completely real right now. The evidence very strongly suggests Sentry versus Omni-Man is like me versus a newborn baby. I mean, if one sun is enough to massively weaken a Viltrumite, then how the hell is Omni-Man meant to be surviving someone who is described as having the power of 1 million exploding suns? I mean, this video should probably just be called "Can a Million Omni-Mans Beat Sentry?" because the fight is simply not close, at least not from a scaling perspective. Actually, that isn't a terrible video idea. Maybe I'll write that down. Anyway, in conclusion, I'm going to award this victory to Omni-Man. Yeah. I bet you're hella confused now, huh? Everything strongly points to Sentry being the victor, by a long shot, but I'm gonna give it to Omni-Man for 2 reasons. 1. Robert Kirkland. The creator of Invincible comics stated, and I quote, "I say Superman is lame and that Omni-Man would easily beat Superman." Yeah, that is why I said Omni-Man had superior statements, because I feel like you really can't get much better than that. I mean, sure, power scaling is all well and good, but realistically, when the writer of a universe says something like this, I feel like you kind of just aren't really given much of a choice. Like, you can disagree with it, you can sit here and say you disagree with it, but realistically, if the god of this universe, who is Robert Kirkland, literally just, he's the creator of this fictional world, says that he beat Superman, then who am I to argue with it? Realistically, he's literally the creator. And reason 2 is just because I thought it would be unbelievably hilarious if I concluded the video with "a coughing baby beats hydrogen bomb because the baby's parents say he can" statement. So yeah, in conclusion, Omni-Man beat Sentry because he beat Superman, who is relative to or even stronger than Sentry. But yeah, for real, Sentry would absolutely wipe Omni-Man. Like, he would destroy him. Not even close.